everybody, welcome to the Flower Patch. My name's Iris Smith, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. My apologies for yesterday. I had a family emergency which couldn't be helped. So the family emergency wasn't something spectacular. It was just, something's an illness of a family member who ended up being taken into hospital. So, yes, quite a sad day. Anyway, today I'm going to do a plant pot arrangement. Now, I've had my lovely friend Audrey from Phoenix, New York, asked me if I could do a plant pot arrangement. Now, I'm not going to do it in the normal size plant pots. I've got a bucket out that I use to put my fresh flowers in. So I'm going to do it in that. And some of you florist designers may have these buckets on a stand, which go place in the stand where you put your flowers to store them. So I've got a black one. Here we go, where it's wider at the top and slimmer at the bottom. Now I filled it to about here with garden stones or pebbles. You can place it in some damp sand, where you place in a bag, a waterproof type bag, and then tie it at the top. But again, make sure it's slightly damp, not too damp, because that will give the weight as well, so it doesn't blow over in the wind. But I've got lots of stones, gravel on my garden, so I just go and pinch some of those. It's easier. So I've placed in 2 pieces of styrofoam. Again, it comes up to about here, the pebbles. So I've only placed in that much styrofoam, and I've cut them in half and then placed in a piece of tape over the top to hold them down. I'm not covering this styrofoam because it is waterproof. It doesn't, degrade or break up or anything like that. It is very strong, and it's lovely. So, and it's very, when you put your stems in, it really does hold them tight. I do, prefer the grey artificial dried foam, but if that gets wet, that will crumble. So, but this one doesn't. So, and I've used it many times for my outdoor things. So that is what we're going to do it in. Now, I've been going back and forth, wondering what I could use. So I've tried to get some bits out, and I think I have got more than I need, but I've just got them out, guys. So first of all, these were in one of my buckets, and there's only 4 left of this grass, so I'm going to use these. Now I've got out my UV protected wispy little mini calla lilies in purple with grass on as well. I have got out these are the forsythia leaves before they flower. So I do have those. I'm not sure if I'm going to use everything, but I've just got things out what I think may, look nice together. Now I have got some trailing foliage and that, because I do want a little bit coming over the side. Now I have got this trade scantia. It's very long. It's all different lengths, and I'm not going to put it in that length. I'm going to maybe just chop a few pieces off and place those in as well. And to go with the trade scantia, I have my morning glory. I've got another one out as well to go in, just coming down the sides of the bucket also. Now I've cut some of these down off a bunch to use as like filler foliage, and they've got like bamboo, a bit of a stilby, some blossoms. Oops, white blossoms. I've just pulled one off. I'll have to look for that. And some other foliage. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use it all. I've got 2 stems out of my fern that I'm going to place in as maybe as well. I'm piling them all up. Now I've got my wispy grass for the movement. So I've got this out, you know, just so it moves in the wind. And again, this is plastic like the majority of the things that I've chosen. And this is UV protected as well. So that, again, this is great for outdoors. Now we used this the other day in white. So I've got my purple Astilbe out as well because I like the length of it. So I've got 5 stems out. I don't know if I'm going to use them all. I've also got out my purple hydrangeas as well with the big head. And I've got some peachy coloured ones as well out because I thought they may add a little bit of a different tone. But I've got my dahlias. You've got the round-headed ones, and then there's some where you've got the more of a pointed petal on them as well. So I've got those out. So that's all what we've got out for today. So we're going to see if we can create a lovely arrangement in a bucket or planter that you'll have outside your door or on your garden, anywhere, you know, like that, or even in your hallway. It's all down to personal preference. Or you can have them where your front door is and you just come in and you spot it. So I'm going to, I think, lift the camera up maybe today so you can see, because it's maybe quite tall and I'm going to be standing up. So I'm going to move my stool. I'll bring the bucket in and let's see if we can get the camera standing at a different position. So maybe like that, so you can see them going in. I'll have it a little bit like that so you can see slightly coming down when I put in the trailing foliage. So when I do a planter, I mean, this is the way I do it. Everybody's got their own way. I always like to start with, if anything's trailing, get those in first. And then we can add to that later on throughout creating one. I just need to get those in. So I cut on one of them with some spare bits, some little bits maybe to place in. But I think I want to cut them up with our morning glory, because some are different length and I don't want them all. I mean, you can place them in as a, you know, a bunch like that and then just have them coming down if that makes it easier. But on some of them, I do like to scatter them about. If you're going to have it just place in the old stem, just, you know, make sure you manipulate your floral to whichever way you want it to sit, or your foliage. I'm just going to bend these over just to give you an idea. And these are straight, the smaller ones. I'm not a fan of just seeing them straight. I like to give them a little bit of a bend or twist into the stem, just to give them that natural movement. Even if it's just, you know, something slightly different. And then if you want, you would place that like so. Let's have a look here. I'm just going to bend a few coming down of the smaller ones. So you can have them where they are just coming over like that. So I'm going to cut this one up. Again, you can place it in as a full stem. I'm going to cut the longer, just the slightly longer pieces off, because I don't want it, the floral or the foliage, hanging right to the bottom. So I'm going to place one. I must admit this foam is quite tough, so I may need to get my hole puncher. Just give a helping hand to place the hole in. I may not need it there actually. Let's cut it a bit more to give it more of a angle on the stem. Let's place it here. Just dip it in our glue. Now you could also place in, you know, soil, or if you call it garden dirt, or I don't know what you call it across the pond, but we call it soil. You could place that in and fill it to the top, and then just stick your stems in. You don't have to glue them in. So I'm going to go opposite to where I've placed this one. So let's cut a bit of an angle on that too. And then just bend that down, and again give it a bit of movement. So we've got it like that. And I've got another one here that I'll place in. I mean, it's not as long. If I get another longish piece off, then I'll place one there. And again, just have it slightly hanging down. Like so. Let's just move everything out the way. Now I've got these smaller pieces that I'm just going to bring around as well. Let's see if I can just make an hole with that. Yeah. And I'm going to go in each corner of the foam, just to have that slightly. I'm going to bend it before I place it in. And then come here on this corner. Again, just bend the ends over. Bend it at the ridge of your pot. Then I'm going to go in these corners as well. And then I'm bending it at the ridge, right at the top. And just have those coming off as well. So I may not need to use two. Oops, nearly got the leaf in the glue. So I've bent those over so they're looking like that on top. And just to give a bit of floral. Now I've got these 3 left, or 4. sorry. Can't count. So I'm just going to place these in, but slightly. Let me just turn my jumper sleeve up because I keep catching it on the glue. So I'm just going to go again in 4 of the corners where I've just placed these ones hanging over. And this is just to add some of this white in as well. And then I'm going to go here. So I've brought the Morning Glory up above as well. Oh, I found one more. Oh, we'll stick this around the centre then, guys. Let's just check that I haven't got any more loose. No. So we'll stick that in the centre. If you find you've got an odd one left, place it around the centre. So we may not need that one. We'll keep it there just in case. Now I'm going to add the trade scanty. Now I don't want it this long, guys. It is extremely long. I've got 2 here just in case, but I don't think I'm going to need 2. Let's place 1 on the floor as well. Now these are not wired in the main stem going down. They are only wired at the top. So these will hang perfect. So I'm going to look for the smaller ones. I don't want the great long ones. In fact, to be quite honest, they're really mainly all long. So I'll get that one. So if you find that they are too long and you need to just chop them down, just chop them. So I'm going to bring, where you see where I've put the ones hanging down lower, I'm going to place these in the middle. But because these are exceptionally long, I'm going to place the stem in the centre, not on the side, so it doesn't then hang. If by placing the stem in the centre, it doesn't hang so low. So we'll place that in the centre there. We'll just have some of that. Let's have a look at another. It's hard to find. Right, this one's an exceptionally long one, so I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to cut it where I have how long I need it. So we're going to go around to there. So I'm going to cut just this end piece off, so I can easily place that in the centre. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Let me just move, I've got a spare prong here, so I'm moving one of the leaves up. So I'm going to place this stem around the centre also. And again, these are not wired, so they're going to be hard to place in. So I'm going to use the hole puncher because it's not strong enough to make its own hole in the foam. And then now I've just made that hole, I will push it just down, so we've got a little bit at the top. Now I'm just going to cut this piece off because there's nothing on here. Like that. So I've just brought a little bit up there. So we'll get another one. And again, this one isn't that long, not as long as some of them. And I'm going to do the same around here also. And again, if you feel that they're still too long, chop them down, guys. You know, chop them as far as you want. I think I may move that one slightly over. I think I'm going to cut just that leaf off at the bottom. I'm not going to put too much of the Tradescantia in. Again, let's just cut. We've got one up there, so we'll cut another piece. Make a hole. Oops, I nearly dipped that in my glue. Make a hole where I need it. Place that one in as well. So I'm not going to need any more of that. Right, so before I carry on, I'm going to incorporate one of our hydrangeas, and I want that, and you can have these as high as you wish. They don't all have to be low down here unless that's what you want. I tend to like at least something what's fairly higher than the rest of the florals, you know, like a focal point. And I'm going to put this right in the center. And I'm going to push it down as high as I feel I'd like it. So I just probably like it around that area, because it's not a, if it was a bigger bouquet, I probably may go slightly higher. Just going to take those off, because I may want to place 3 in the triangular position a bit further down and around. So before I carry on, I'm just going to give it a bit of a cut at the end on each of them, a 45-degree angle, and we'll place those in. And that's the best thing about having a, you know, a bucket or a planter arrangement, because if it's, you know, quite long, you can keep the stems long and push them down as far as you want, so you've got more support. The more stem goes down at the bottom, there's more support for you. So I'm going to now go in at the triangular position. And I'm going to leave it around that height. So it's staggering, it's just coming down a step. And I'm going to do that in the triangular position for us. So then it will look really, really pretty. Again, you can stagger these that you're putting in. You can have one lower down if you like. You don't have to have them all around the same height. Let's just see. So now we've got that. If I just turn it here. So we've got that in as well. Excuse me. Now I'm going to, I placed some floral tape on these because they were on paperback. So I've already done that. And what I want to do with these is just bring some coming out from the sides. So we'll place one in there. And again, have that just hanging out from the side as well. See if I can get a bigger one, because some of these have got more on than others. And then I'm going to go here. I'm going to sort of like go 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. Let's just make sure I don't get glue on. And then we'll place one in here and have that one hanging over as well. And then we'll get another one. Grab it. We'll place it in here. Oops, nearly got a leaf in there. Oh my goodness. And this is just filling up around the edge. That's all we're doing. I think I cut a few more than I need. Let's just take that bit off. Maybe just cut this piece off. So, and then we're going to place one in here. Oh, I didn't place an all in. My goodness. So then we've just got those around the edge. So let's just put the rubber band back on those. Place those there. So I'm going to add in some of our dahlias. Now it's choosing which ones. I like them all. I think it would be better if I took the rubber band off. Right, let's see the white. Oh, I thought I got a flower missing then. Do I add? You could add your yellows to this as well. I think I'm going to add these ones instead of the rounded ones because we've got a round shape hydrangeas. I'll keep some of the others. I may, because I do have the odd one what's been used. So these have got, just move that, 3 florals. You've got your 2 big open ones, and then you've got a smaller floral that's starting to open. Now you can cut these up, oh thanks hon, and place in and probably have them like so, or you know, with the smaller one slightly higher, because these are long, so you can bring either smaller one up or you can turn it around and have the smaller one coming down. It's your choice. Let's just give it another cut on the tip. And I think I'm going to bring the smaller one coming down. And again, I'm going to bring this one in between each of our hydrangeas. I know we've got a lot of white at the moment. And I don't mind if there's a stem slightly longer than this one, because that gives it the natural, you know, look of the growth of the floral. Let's just see if I can push it a little bit more in. There we go. So then we have it like that. And I'm going to be adding the purple in as well. So I know it looks we've got too much white at the moment, but by adding the purple in shortly, it will give off that lovely look. So I'm going to place another one in here, do the same, push it right down as far as I can get it, and again just manipulate your stems. So then that's the last one, and then we've got the gap here in between these two that we're going to place this one in. Again, I'm opening them up before I place them in. So we're going to place this one in as well. The smaller one on the bottom. Oops. There we go. So now we've got it like that. So I'm going to, before I add in any more foliage, I'm going to add in some of our purple Astilbe. Now these do shed, so if you want an idea, is spray them with hairspray and that will stop the shedding. Maybe not completely on some things, but others the hairspray does well. Or you could just buy some clear self-adhesive spray and just spray them where it's clear in a can. So now these have got 4 on. So I may only need 2 of these guys. So I'm going to cut this stem down a little bit more. It is quite long. And I've opened them out, as you can see. And I'm going to bring it in between each of the dahlias. So if I bring one here, and again, just for that little bit of movement. Now this stem is really straight, so I'm going to bend it just to give that movement. So we're going to put that one like that. Let's grab another one, get the tags off, and cut that one as well. Open it up. I may have to bring in 3. Do I bring in 3? Yeah, I may have to bring in 3. Just move that leaf so I can see the foam. And again, just bring them around, you know, just add them in. It doesn't matter if they're slightly taller, you get movement because your plants will grow if it was real. Do the same with that one. And then I'm going to place one here on this side. So I'm just placing these in the triangular position. I don't want any more. Oops, I've just cut my hair. And again, just weave them through some of your floral and foliage. You know, bend them over so they look like they're coming out from the sides as well. So like that. So I'm bending the stems to make them come out also, instead of all from, you know, going upwards. So it's like that. Excuse me. Now, I just want to place in this grass. And I want to bring some of the grass coming out. So where I've filled in here, I think, or do I? If I could push it in a bit more. Just have the grass sticking out like that. I've got an odd one there, so I've only got 3. So we'll place these in the triangular position as well. I think that'll add that little bit extra, you know, texture. And then we'll turn, and we'll place this one here. And have just some grass coming out there as well. So we don't need any more stilby. Now I do have because we've got mainly white down here at the bottom. Oh, let me just grab that glue string. I am considering placing just, I'm not going to chop these up, but just placing maybe some purple down at the bottom as well. So let me just fluff up, and these are push-ups, so you can manipulate your foliage, you know, some floral, whether you want it all at the top or at the bottom or a bit in between. It's entirely your decision. Oh, I've just lost a flower. I've just seen. Let's just glue that back on. There we have it. Oh, I've seen another one. Thought I'd got two down here for some reason. It must be off of this one. Here we go. So if some of your flowers do pop off, just glue them back on. Right, so let me just see whether, oh, it's just popped up again. Oh my goodness, where's that come from? Here. There's another one. So I'm thinking just where the trailing morning glory is, bring some of that purple down. So I'm going to just put a bit of glue on and go under this morning glory here, not above it, under it. So I'm going to lift it, and I'm just going to add that full bunch, and then I'm going to, because they're wired, I'm going to spread them slightly so they're not all as one cluster around each other. It's just, and it just, you know, means you've got to just play with it a little. So I'm going to have that one there. Get another one. I'm going to do the same around here as well. Just have that bit of coming from there. And again, it's just so you've got a bit of floral instead of just the morning glory hanging around the bottom. You can spread it around by placing floral, another colour floral with it. Again, just manipulate it. So I've got 3 and I don't want any more at the moment. Oh, let me just have a quick drink of my coffee. Now, I have got my fern. I don't know whether to break this up or get something smaller. Now you get 3, on here. So I'm just seeing, let's have a look at the forsythia as well. Oh, I've just snapped. Right, the forsythia as well, the sprays. You get them and they are quite long also, as you can see. And again, these could add in, you can either place them all in at once and then just manipulate them. I quite like, have I got any oddments in here? No. No, I haven't. So I was just thinking, or I may chop this one up, guys. I'm going to chop it up. I like chopping things up. I just feel I have slightly more control. And by adding a lime green foliage against the purple, because we've got lime green in the hydrangeas, by adding the lime green, that adds, you know, where all your floral will pop. So I'm going to bring some around the centre, just to bring that foliage slightly higher than just around the bottom. I think we may need, I could add in a bit of yellow maybe, because I need something around here in floral as well. So I'm just going to bring some of this forsythia up to the top. Just around. And then one in here. As well. So we've got a bit of forsythia, a longer foliage. I'll hold with the forsythia. I don't think I'm going to put this fern in because it is quite big and I don't want it to cover up the floral. So we'll place that there. I might have a look at some other fern. I have. Let me just place this one away. And I may consider bringing some more floral out as well. I'm just thinking we could do with some like little daisies or something and have a tiny smaller floral in. So if I may grab them with that fern. There's a lot of white, so I may incorporate a bit of maybe yellow. Have I got enough here? Oh, I've got about 2 stems left of wax flower and some oddments on single picks. So let's have a look what they may do. Yeah, we'll just add that little hint of yellow in with the wax flower. Now I've got the smaller fern, and I have with these when I first bought them, placed a few on single picks. So I'm gonna, some of them, I'm gonna dot around. We'll just take all the single picks out first. And I'm gonna dot these around I want just that movement from the fern, and I'm going to go in it like a zigzag. So one here, then go down. So then now I need to go back up. I can't see. And then go back down. Just have that little bit of fern coming out. And then we'll go back up. Again, these are more of the limey green, so these will help the floral up above. I'm just seeing if I should bring some, maybe 3 around the hydrangea. If I can, just got to. And then another one in here. So that's the fern all in. So I don't need no more picks. So they can go. I do have like our wispy grass here as well, where I may want to just add some of those in at a later stage. But I'm going to, before I do that, I've got, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to see. I've got these other dahlias, the rounded ones, instead of the pointed petals. I may bring these down here as well, just to bring some of the bigger floral down at the bottom. I'm going to just have them more of as depth, so they're just popping at the bottom. I mean, you don't have to do it in the whites and purples that I've got. You can do it in, you know, any colour. They're all look pretty. You can add in campanula, you can add in stock, or you can add in gladiolus as a tall flower. It's entirely your decision. I just wanted the hydrangeas for the size of the head that will cover the majority of the foam by when you look down. And I've kept the foliage on as well, because the foliage is at the bottom, and that will also help towards covering the foam as well. Just So you've got it quite, if I move it like that, quite full from the top with, again, just grasses. As well. Right, I've got some on picks here, and then I've got the full bunches here of the little yellow wax flower. Again, I may use just the picks just to dot around, you know, just to give off a little bit of a different colour, you know, so it doesn't look just too much of the red, the purple. So I'm going to slightly break it up with a bit of wax flower. So I've got that one there. And I'll place one around the similar area here. And I'll just keep moving it around, and you can see where I've placed it. I'm just finding it slightly hard to see the foam because it's covered up with leaves at the bottom, so I'm just moving the leaves out of the way. And I think one maybe here. So that's just added a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to bring some of the wax flower. I may have to put some on picks because I want to just dot them around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got my own picks. And I'm just going to place those on. Right, so then I'm also going to bring just some of these down here as well. So it adds, I may actually bring some higher up as well because they're only tiny. So we've got this one here and this one. So I want to go in the middle of those two up above, but place it down at the bottom. And just bring it slightly down here. Oh, I've pulled a flower off. How did I do that? Oh no, that will be at the bottom somewhere. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Let me just glue that back on, guys. Oh, again, don't worry if a flower comes off. There we go. So I'm going to, again, just carry on. So in between that one and that one, I'll bring one down here. And then between that one and that one, we'll bring it here. And this again is just by combining the colours or the florals that you have up above, just adding some of them down below so it gives that flow. It's not making it look like, oh, you've got your yellows there, but you haven't got yellows down here. Incorporate those yellows down below at the bottom as well. And then it makes it blend in really pretty. That's on there. And I'm pushing them in quite far because I don't want them sticking out too much. So we have gone around all of that. Where can I place this as well? So I don't need, oh mind you, I did say I may put some up above, didn't I? Yeah, well, I'll probably just put 3 up above. I can't get it. Oh. So we'll place 3 up above around the hydrangea. Again, so then we're covering the top section, middle and the bottom. So I'm going to go and do the triangular position with these. You won't really see them much because they're not really on a long stem. But as long as I know I've placed some up above, because you do need depth as well with some things. You know, if you're looking for that natural look. Oh, it is hard to find the foam. Well, it's not hard, but so just by adding that little bit of yellow has took that, you know, purple and white theme off. If you wanted to add more yellow in, you could, you know, add some daisies in, or some more wax flower, or put roses in, or oh my gosh, gerbras, or if you're looking for things like, oh, I forgot what they're called. Oh my goodness, I've gone the brain fog. It's my age, guys. It's my age. But you know, if you want to put, like I say, as well as a tall flower instead of this, a gladioli, or a delphinium, excuse me, or a sunflower, you know, something with a tall stem where you can have it slightly higher. Again, that will look really pretty. Let me just grab a quick drink. So that's looking like that. And then now we've got our wispy grass. Now these are exception. These are quite long stems, guys. I think there was about 80 something centimeters, or probably 90, but they are, if I just move that, they are quite long. So these things are perfect. Just seeing, I've just dropped a leaf. Perfect for your planters if you want them big and you want height. So they are perfect for that. You know, they can sit as high as you want them. Again, I'm going to cut them up because you've got several leaves on one stem, apart from the little one at the bottom. So, but I'm going to cut these up and have them like for, you know, movement. Let's just try and get to that one. And then I'll cut that there. And they are, again, wired, so you can manipulate them. I'm going to cut this stem at a 22-degree angle because this one's quite thick. It's from the main stem. And it'll be easier for me to get it in. So now I'm going to place just a few around the top. just like that, and just have something wispy coming out. And do it here as well. Oops, I don't think I'm bringing this in, aren't I? And then one in here at the top as well. And then one in here. So I've got those up there, and because I've got them up above, I just want to add in a few down below. Now I've just noticed I've got the 4 on picks. So if I've got 2 left on this one, and then I've just found 1 extra of that, so I can pull these off, place those on picks, as well. And then use these to just again bring around here. So let's do that. Again, just bringing it down the bottom, incorporating that movement down here as well, like this wispy grass has grown from the bottom and it's grown upwards. Make it look like it's connected. So I'm just going under. There we go. Now I do, oh, I've got 1 left. What can I do with this? I'll just pop another one in somewhere randomly. So you've got those. I'm still wondering whether to add in something with a bit of a yellow, bit more extra with yellow in. I'm going to just stick this in the centre up above, like I would if I had an extra piece left, and just place it in. So I don't need any more of those. So I'm just thinking, what would I place in? I don't want anything. Oh my goodness. One moment, guys. I'm just trying to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm not looking for something that's going to be too big of a head for the floral. I'm just looking for something sort of like mid-size or small, and have some more smaller florals dotted around, but I want them quite wispy. I don't need any more of the forsythia leaves. I could bring those down the bottom, but with them being exceptionally long, I don't think we need them. I don't need any more dahlias or the purple lavenders. Calla lilies, oh my goodness. So far we've done this. If I just grab it and show you from above, which is quite full. That is the arrangement. Excuse me, but I just feel I need something more, not too much, but just something yellow, or with a yellow undertone maybe. Let me think. Oh my gosh, it's hard. Let's have a look. Let's just have a wee look. Just bear with me a moment, guys. Oh, I can't reach. I'm getting small. No, I don't want those. Let's again just sit with me a mo. It's quite big as well, that. I don't know if you can see. You can't really see, can you? Let me move it over a little. So it is quite a big pot. Now my eyes keep being drawn. I've got some yellow anemone, or I've got yellow gerberas, but they're quite big. And again, I'm not really looking for the biggest flowers. This is hard. And this is all I do when I'm thinking of something and I've not got it out, and I think, you know, just stand here and think to myself, what can I use that's slightly yellow? What's small in the size? Let me just get. I think they've got a bit of orange on, but that doesn't mind. So has the wax flower. So I'm wondering if I can just pop just a few of these in. I don't want to overload them. And again, these are wispy. So I'm going to just can get them. They're all tangled up, everybody. Let's just have a look. That's quite nice. I like the movement of that. So let's, because I don't want to get a rose in. I've just been looking at a rose. No, I don't want a rose in. So I'm going to use something that's got movement. So, oh my goodness, they do tangle up. Now this is lady apple. Some have got lots of foliage on, some haven't got any. And just I may want the ones without foliage. I could pull this apart. Let's see. Yeah. And have several. Let me, where's this? I've lost my snips. Oh, they're here. Save that foliage. Right, I've cut a few apart and just had them for the floral. So they're on paperback, so all of this now has no foliage. Just taking the paperback off, guys. I don't like to see it where it's not very good. Right, I'm going to place a few around the bottom, down here, and then I'll bring the odd one up above. I'm not going to, again, overdo it with it, because it is full. I just needed something a little bit more in colour, in the opposite colour that I'm using. Just so you know where the whites are at the bottom, I just need to slightly break those up a little, instead of having just the whites. So I'm just placing them in and around. Place one more in. So I've just got a few there, and then I'm going to bring some slightly higher up. Let's just look where the most white flowers and bring them in. Again, just for a little bit of movement, so it just breaks them up. Another. And you can make these flowers, these plant pots, as big or as small as you like. And you can add as much as you want in them as well. You know, if you want to add in lots of different, or you know, trailing flowers, you can add in lots of those also. Or if you just want one size floral, just scatter those around. One size floral as well will look pretty. I think I may get another one. In just here. Let's move the leaves. There we go. And I've got two left. And where can I place these? I'll just place these randomly as well. I'll put one. I'm going to place it in between this. I can see the foam. There it is. I'll just place that in randomly. And then I've got another one which I'll go directly opposite. I'll put that in also. There. So we've added a bit of yellow now in, and again I don't want too much, so we'll place those away. And I'm not going to add in anything else, guys. It's big, it's, you know, it looks really pretty in colour. And again, we don't need more floral in or foliage. I'm just a bit with this calla lily, it's just not sitting right. That's better. And again, if you want to add in more trailing, you can add it at the bottom. But from the top, that's what it looks like. And then you'll just see around the bottom, it's all, you know, got a bit of trailing. I didn't want too much trailing foliage or floral because I still wanted to see the pot. But that is how I do my planters or big tall plant pots. And I do it the similar way as well when I'm doing a smaller plant pot arrangement to sit in the window or something like that. And I think, you know, that is really pretty. And it just adds that, you know, lovely movement as well, which I find is always a bonus in any arrangement, because the more natural you want it to look, then you've got to consider the movement in the arrangement. And also, if you go on your garden, have a look at your garden if you're still slightly confused. I was always taught this when I was studying floristry with real flowers. Go and have a look on your garden and have a look at the heights and the depths and, you know, of your floral and foliage and the way, the direction that they're moving. Or, you know, some may be going to the right side, some may be going to the left side, you know, some may be shooting upwards, some will be higher than others, you know, which they are in nature. Just have a look, and by doing that, you know, and taking that on board, that creates, when you're doing something like this, you know, more of a natural look instead of just placing them in and having them virtually all around the same height and you know, depth or length, anything like that. You want some longer than others because you're making it to be something more natural. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope, Audrey, that's helped you. You know, just to show you how I do the lovely planters, and you know how pretty. Again, you do your own colour. I just wanted to do these because I thought, oh, those big hydrangeas kept staring at me for a while, and I knew I'd got this astilbe, and I thought, yeah, let's do some purples. And again, I like to add white in because it gives it that pop. But then I knew as I was going along we needed a bit of yellow because it was looking too monochromatic, and I didn't want that. So by adding in a bit of other colour as just gave it more of a lift. So let me just check that you can see, because I do panic that you can't see. And that would sit outside your door, or you know, wherever you may want to place it, and you know, and have it sitting there looking wonderful. Or even again in your entrance hallway as well. I'm just cutting this down because I'm going to save this stem. There we go. Let's tidy it up a bit. We'll save that. Put that in my bucket here. I don't want that grass. It's totally different. So, give it a go, guys. And if you liked what you see and you enjoy watching the channels, please subscribe, share and like, and you know, share it to everybody who you know, or just to public in general, yourself, and show them you know, some of the work that we have done and the ideas that we create, and also you know, your ideas that you give me, guys, to do. They're not all just my ideas. They are, you know, some requests that you ask for. You know, so as soon as I get a request, I get a picture in my mind. You know, when they ask for a certain thing, I get a picture in my mind and I can see it, what florals I think would look better with it. So yeah, so give it a go. And like I say, if you enjoy the channel, you know, subscribe and share, please, that, you know, to people, because that would mean ever such a lot to me, and it does help, you know, my videos. And also the more, you know, you share with people and subscribe, then the more you know, I can have fun showing you all wonderful people how to create beautiful things. So take care, guys. I won't be here tomorrow again. Fridays are my busy day. I do have an arrangement, a big arrangement I need to be doing, and so have a wonderful weekend. And I've got the choir practice tonight, so have a wonderful weekend, and keep creating your beautiful arrangements. And Diane, I'm still thinking about you, my lovely. I hope you're you know, you're okay, and if you ever need it, you know, to talk, just send me a message like you do, and we'll have a chat. So again, give it a go. Please subscribe, share and like. Have a grand weekend. Good health, guys. God bless. And I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, so let's try and get in close. Let's move that out of the way. So it is quite full, as you can see. And there's the lovely hydrangeas with the lime green in as well. Then we've got our beautiful dahlias in white with the pointed petals. And then we also have the dahlias in white with the rounded petals on the ends. And then we have our miniature calla lilies, our lady apple, our lovely wax flower, and our fern, our morning glory in white, our trailing tradescantia, our lovely purple astilbe, our wispy spiky grass, our forsythia leaf before it's, you know, got the florals on. These are those picks what come with, you know, the bamboo, the little blossom, wherever it is here, and then, you know, a bit of foliage itself. Then we've got the grass here as well, what I've just placed in, coming out from the sides also. And the morning glory has its foliage, which is ivy, that is with it also. So I hope I've remembered everything, guys. But I hope you enjoyed that, and that you're going to give it a go and have fun. So I'll see you all next week, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye for now. Bye-bye.